All right, 1980 sports cards. This is Rob Lay, and we have a weird one coming off the Dallas Card Show a week and a half ago. Right here is the 1983 Topps box, but it's not a standard box. So we're going to figure out together what that means. But there was a dealer at the Dallas Card Show that had these boxes, and he was honest, not selling them as a perfect wrapped 1983 Topps. Those are selling for about $850 recently. So what he calls these are miswraps. And these were original factory miswraps 40 years ago. And the packs could be bought for like cents on the dollar. So I don't know if he was the original dealer that bought them or bought them from someone else, but he bought a lot of these packs, 83 Topps, that were miswraps really, really cheap. And he's been selling them recently. And what he does is he takes other 1983 Topps boxes, puts them in here and wraps them. But no, they're not BBCE certified. These are not considered a regular box. Our hope is the miswraps are untampered. There was no type of collation or sequence where the good packs could be pulled. So we're just going to have to find out together. And he showed me an example. When you look at the pack, you can tell that they're not like a pretty wrap up, but they do seem to be sealed and unopened. So we're just going to have to break into this, and we're going to see really quick if we get a good distribution of cards and if they're in good condition. But so the market on this box for like a BBCE certified is $850, even up over $900. And he's got an $825 price tag on these, but I only bought them for $600. So if they turned out to be like untampered, great condition cards, then, this could be a good deal. If not, then I got had and not a good deal. So as we get into these, what we're looking for, and let's see if we can tell I can feel the gum in there, and you can tell they're sealed. So I don't know if that's why they're calling them miswraps. Like, look down here how it's not, it's not pretty. I think that's the only reason it's a miswrap, but there's no sign these have been opened. Obviously the packs have been just put into this box, so they didn't come like that from the factory. But yeah, you can see why they're called miswraps. They're not aligned, and on the back. So we're just gonna have to make sure we still get good cards and that they're in good condition. The only way to find out is to open them. As far as the cards we're looking for, of course, the rookies, Tony Gwynn, Boggs, Ryne Sandberg. Those are big cards. They had hundreds that gem, but those are 4-digit cards. Like the Tony Gwynn PSA 10 is a $4,000 card. There you go. Nice 45-year-old gum. And then, the Wade Boggs PSA 10, 2,500. Ryne Sandberg PSA 10, 1,600. But even in nines, they're middle 3-digit cards, and so still valuable. So pretty much if we pull a Tony Gwynn, Wade Boggs, Ryne Sandberg, we're not going to be that picky for what we want to grade, even going down to what we think is a 7 or 8. So it's going to have to be a pretty bad card, because even in a PSA 7, we can break even on the grading. Now, besides that, no. The cards really only have any value, 3-digit value, if they're going to get a PSA 10. And then we maybe break even on a PSA 9. So what that means is, to our eyes, especially how hard it is to gem a 80s card, as we know, especially these gum packs, then we're just going to be looking for like a near perfect card on any of the other Hall of Famers, whether we want to grade them or not. Otherwise, we'll keep them raw. So let's get into it. All right, there's the Rickey Henderson #2. And this is really the first card of note that we've gotten going through 80% of the box. So that's kind of concerning. But this is a nice card and it's in great centered condition. It's only a $200 card in a PSA 10, but it would break even around $25 in a PSA 9. This is actually, I've seen some rough cards here, and the back ones have the gum stains, but this one's in really good condition, so that's a good sign. All right, well, I'm trying to still wrap my brain around what just happened. So these were rewraps. They were all very sealed. I don't think they'd been touched since they'd left the factory. I do know that this is not the original box they came in. They were placed in this box. But what I don't understand is how we could go through the entire 36-pack box and only pull a Rickey Henderson record breaker. There was no Tony Gwynns, no Wade Boggs, no Ryne Sandbergs, none of the other Rickey Hendersons, no Mike Schmidt, no Kyle Ripkins, no Pete Roses. But what was really weird is there were some cards, there must have been 10 to 15 Ron Washingtons, Lance Parrish, and the other one I think was like a Lonnie Smith, that there was like 5 to 10 cards of in the box. So I'm not saying that the dealer did anything wrong with these cards. We have one more of these boxes to open, and we'll get to the bottom of it. If we don't get any hits in there as well, then I'm going to be completely suspect. Does anyone know the history of rewraps and how they were sent from the factory, and if you were able to pull certain cards and collate them? I don't believe these packs have been gone through, but it just seems that none of the good cards were in these packs. So we're just going to have to wait and see when we open the second box what kind of hits we get. But yeah, there were some Hall of Famers in there. I pulled those to the side. Decent raw cards, not worth grading. The Rickey Henderson record breaker is really well centered and great condition, so I'll get that graded, but that was the only card in the bunch. All right, take care.